Congratulations on a new deal.
Thank you.
Talk about, that's kind of a long-term deal, and talk about the team a little bit and what went into the decision process.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we get along good, so it's one of those things where me, Burner, Nate, Forrest, Ray, Dan, everybody on the team, JR, get along great. So we got good backing by Rocky Mountain. They're behind us 100%. And then we have WPS, Fly, and then KTM. And it's kind of one of those things where we're a small team, it's tight-knit, but we got all these big organizations, helping us and basically putting the package together. So we got all the resources we need. We've been pretty successful so far, so we just need to continue on. And everybody agreed that we would all like to continue on, and we worked out a deal and made it happen. So it's definitely one of those things where it's long term to 2021, but we're the goal is to win championships. So ideally we'd be try to get a Supercross win here in the next 2 rounds, and then go outdoor racing and try to win that title. So winning races is what everybody's there to do. That's kind of what everybody shows up for. That's what the media guys like you guys show up for, is to see who's going to win, right? So they're behind me, and I'm excited. So I'm glad that I can continue working with them, just continue my relationships with everybody on the team and just plug away and try to, work with each other and brainstorm and achieve the next goal and maybe make things better and better. And then championships can lead to that, and that's the goal behind the whole organization, the whole team, everybody that puts in to make it happen is to win.
And you were showing some strong progress middle of the season, and then we got to Atlanta.
Yeah, it's stuff happens. So just had a little mishap there, and it's one of those things where you're not in control of stuff that happens. So. Took a few steps back there with just my hand. I was, okay. The rest of my body was, but my hand was just sore and just couldn't hold on for the next few rounds. So, unfortunately, went into Daytona and just in survival mode. And then, after that, for the next 2-3 weekends was just survival mode. So last weekend was finally a step in the right direction. We got going, and we're, just being steady at the same time. We want to have good results, but don't want to do anything that's going to put us in jeopardy for getting hurt.
You made all that time on recovery, and then did you redo some of the same stuff?
I didn't redo it necessarily, but my wrist is fused, and then my thumb is held together by some screws from last year where I blew the joint apart. So basically everything in there is just still tender, and when you have it jammed so bad that it was on the verge of breaking. So I got some MRIs, and there was some hairline little tiny scuffs and fractures in there. So it's like one of those things where you take off during the week, but you got to race on the weekend, and just when there's bone on bone and they're touching each other, it doesn't feel good. So it's one of those things.
You seem like you've made a whole ton of progress in Supercross. We're coming up to I think outdoors maybe a little more your favorite, or is it evened out a little bit?
I mean, it's evened out a little bit for sure, but with how the Supercross season went, kind of ups and downs the whole time, which we'd like to just have it climb up and stay up. So just would like to get on the podium here 2 more times would be nice, and to get a win somewhere, whether it's this weekend or at Vegas, would be nice as well. And then from there move on to outdoors, and it would be nice to start off there and start with a podium at the first round. So last year we were pretty far off. I think we ended up 9th or so, and then climbed our way back pretty quick. But that points deficit, you need to be there right off the bat. So we're just going to be steady, do what we can, and try to put it as far towards the front as we can these next 2 Supercross rounds, and then the brain and everything else switches over and we go to motocross time.
How hard is that transition from Supercross to outdoors? The whole big change in suspension.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, just the bike, the way you want it to react and handle, and how stiff you want stuff, how soft you want stuff, rebound, all that stuff. You just basically changing it. The clamps. I mean, you change everything. So that's where it takes you a little bit to get in the groove of things, and then you kind of, after you get through the first 2 rounds, then normally you're like, okay, this is what I wanted to do. But if you could get that done so that the first 2 rounds you're not making any changes, and you're comfortable and happy, and even if you can win the first round, then that's a big jump start on everybody else.
Yeah, walking through all the pit area at Hangtown, it looks like everybody's scratching their heads a little bit and struggling.
Yeah, definitely shuffling most of the time. There's normally one, maybe two guys that aren't shuffling things around and changing things, but most of the time it's a shuffle.
Well, have you peeked at the track yet today? And anything you see out there?
Yeah, I rode early press this morning, so it's like they went to a pea gravel yard. To be honest, it's not even dirt down there. It's really rocky, lots of pea gravel, really hard packed and slick. So it's going to be one of those rounds where you're going to have to be consistent, and pushing it and making a mistake is going to be there. So maybe just not pushing it all the way and kind of being consistent will pay off, because you'll catch the guy that is pushing it, making mistakes if you're just steady.
Well, good luck out there.
Thanks.